18 pack. There's some gone. They're obviously my brother's. So he was like, they aren't mine, and I'm not going to drink them. So here you go.
Oh, damn.
Thanks, Dad.
Sorry, boy. That's a good fucking one right there.
Well, because I borrowed Alex's truck, and I said, I'll buy you beer or give you some money. And he said money, so I gave him $20. So honestly, it was probably that $20 that he used to buy beer.
Which why wouldn't they just have you buy him beer? But
maybe situational.
yeah,
Maybe
nowhere to put it at the time.
I would assume if they were smart, being a 20-year-old myself at one point, you probably get it while you're going there, and then just not bring it home because then you don't have to deal with it. But like my dumbass thought I was so clever, and I always carried a backpack. And I always hid them in the bottom pouch part of the backpack. There was a sleeve. Never got caught, but
that's perfect. I love it. I like this setup now. It wasn't bad,
yeah, I
but
agree.
if you split it up a little bit,
right?
Fuck Matt, he doesn't get a choice. Put something behind. Put that chair behind.
That's my handwriting.
Sorry, Matt. I know it is. That's
First and
Actually,
foremost,
almost what we should do is take that couch and put it on this end.
Hey, fuck you, buddy.
we should.
Hey, fuck you, buddy.
Yeah, his couch.
Why? You want to switch? So
That
you
was
can
from
rock
something
back
we
here
did.
or what?
It was a
No, I'm saying put
conversation
the
we
couch
had.
against the wall here.
it was
put
to
me over
determine
here,
who took the
and then the
last
table can go
shot.
here, and we'll all be kind of
You're
closer
exactly
that
right.
way instead.
I
of-
wrote
Are
the
we
number
making
down,
that
'cause you
decision
said-
now?
I mean,
Write it
we
down.
can fuck with it later. We don't have to do it.
We'll
now.
do it
Let's
after
not
the
do it right
cast.
now.
Yeah.
We can do it
After the
afterwards.
cast.
No, after the cast, we've got our fucking fantasy.
Well,
Well,
that's
we
not till
we'll have
9:30. We got
time.
an hour and a half.
Just
Hour 15.
What do you say we do a short
Hour
cast tonight?
45.
make it quick.
Knock it out. Move some
I mean, we
couch.
can do
plenty
a
of time,
full
doesn't need
regular
to be
one, and it'll
short.
still be fine. Yeah,
I think we should also
you'll be
try
fine.
to.
we
I
are
wouldn't
going
say
right.
self-edit, but make it easier on someone who has to edit this, so you don't have to spend a week trying to edit it,
Someone.
especially if you're being, you're busy, obviously.
So part of the reason why it takes me so long to edit is trying to find the time because
He's lazy.
I have to. I am also that, but
fuck.
that's not the reason. I have to
Bazinga.
find at least however long the podcast is. I need that much time, if not double the amount of time to edit it, because I got to listen through.
Yeah,
it.
but it's only 52 minutes to an hour.
So 2 hours.
It's 2 hours.
I have to spend 2
What
hours.
are you listening through for? Shit that can't be said?
Right, and also sound bites.
Okay, that too.
If I didn't do sound
Okay,
bites,
fair
then
point. Fair point. We'll
The
give you
sound
that.
bites part, yeah. That, I mean, I get
What
going
if?
through that.
What if?
But
Now for sound bites
And when we
after.
move, we can make this easier for me to not. I can lean back and I can't.
What if after a sound bite we just yell? So then when you see the audio spike, then you know it's a sound bite.
well, that's the thing is that we don't always know when it's going to be a sound bite.
sound bite.
Yeah, but
Uh,
somebody says something random quietly. I mean,
Right, that's like
true
half
of
the
sound
sound
bite,
Then
bites.
just
but-
someone yells. You got to have that knowledge.
Um,
Then and there.
so what I did
Done.
on this last
Done.
episode is
Gotta be done.
Like
for
if
the-
someone said stick in the ass.
in the interest of speed. I instead of actually
Crank.
pulling the sound bites out,
Man.
I labeled them in Audacity. So I'm going to go back through again later and go pull where they're labeled.
I kind of want to give you a nickname right now
Me?
Yeah.
What?
because you're talking about speed.
What?
Lightning McQueen.
Oh,
Flash.
I am speed.
Speed. I am speed.
All right, so there was no clean start to this.
The
so
Piston Cup.
Thank you, Matt. This is episode 36 of the Last Shot
holy
podcast.
crap.
Pissed in
Damn.
cup.
Yes, he
All
did
right,
what in his cup?
Shots.
He did what?
Hold on. We have to introduce ourselves
Okay.
because
Yeah,
I have
You're right.
You don't need to know me.
we
Yeah, we do.
I
We
said-
are technically introducing ourselves to everyone that we already know who listens to this.
Technically,
we
you're not
could
wrong,
have a lot more,
but-
boys. We
yeah,
have
never
some
know.
but if,
You never
exciting
know.
if somebody
news.
else listens to it, they're going to be like, who
Exciting
said
news.
all the things? So, listener number
Or
13.
If one of us hits it big, and we get drafted to a big time podcast.
drafted.
I'm in the
I don't
draft.
think we can get
I went round
drafted.
one overall.
I don't-
what if we make that a thing?
A camera shot pans to us, and we're all sitting here waiting for
Right.
the TV.
Joe Rogan podcast selects
Answer the
first
phone.
overall from the Last Shot podcast.
Ultimate
Trace McCoy.
Ultimate Podcast League, to where you get everyone together and make the ultimate group of podcasters. But you can get dropped, and someone else can get picked up if they're delivering good content.
What would
Let
we?
me,
Yeah, what would we
Boys.
bring to the
I mean,
table?
God, that would
That's
Boys,
suck.
John,
that would
Podcasts are so
suck.
diverse. Like,
I can
yeah.
make you guys shots. I should be number one overall.
I'm just saying,
But
hey,
see,
if
here's
there's
the thing: is I've made all of the shots. So
I was gonna say performance based.
I mean,
Yeah.
so I've made all the shots. I host the location.
Oh.
I provide. I don't
He's
know
got
what
the
else.
longest
That's-
hair.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
Wouldn't that be insane? Like, there's gaming leagues and all types of sports leagues. What if there was like a legit, like, they have debates and stuff? What if there was a podcast league where everyone just got together and podcasted?
I don't know
That
what
would
the
be
competition
insane.
part
Hard.
of
Yeah,
it
I don't know
would
if there
be.
would be a.
What you're
competition.
describing is just a forensics competition from
Yeah, actually, you're not wrong.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm
I never did,
describing.
I
No,
never
you're not
did
wrong.
forensics, but
So maybe they just gave
It's
everyone the
arguing.
same topics or whatever agenda, and you had to come up with the best version of presenting
That's literally
that.
forensics.
Well,
Well, not
I feel-
forensics. But
I
it's
feel
like
bad
speech
for-
tournaments.
I feel
provide
bad-
the best content for your
Mother
listeners.
truckers.
I feel bad for the judges then that have to listen to
listeners?
each of the
Oh,
different
yeah.
podcasts
Yeah.
about the
Same
same
stuff
subject over and over.
And then
That'd
the
be
editor's
shitty.
like, "Hey guys, they talked about this. Rewind, rewind."
Yeah. So this is episode 36
But
of
if
the
you
Last
cuss,
Shot
you-
podcast. This
if-
is our entry into the. This is us declaring for the draft, I guess.
If you cuss, you get disqualified. There's like a cussing and non-cussing
Well, that
league.
would fucking suck.
All right, so
Um,
now we have to
we're
introduce
taken
ourselves
out.
like we're on like a NFL promo video, right?
Right, exactly.
Like,
Oh, yeah,
Instead
so we
of
gotta-
I'm a D tackle
like,
or whatever.
like
Yeah.
Key and Peele. Numa 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 Hoo-ha.
Yeah.
Hawaii University.
John Smith. BYU.
Aaron
Army.
Rodgers.
So what we're gonna
Cow.
do is I'm not gonna
Prince
put my mic
Amukamara.
number anymore because Trace is number
Oh, yeah.
one and he's all the way
I
over
kind
there
of
now.
fucked it
So
up, yeah.
we're gonna start with Matt and we're gonna go all the way around.
So that means I'm Gus then, right?
yes,
Yeah. All right,
Right,
so
so-
I'm Matt
I'm Chris
I'm Joel.
I'm Brendan.
I'm Trace.
and Matt.
and Matt. All right, so we've got the Ultimate
Wait, what?
Podcast League.
That's
gonna
a Rooster
be
Teeth
our,
podcast
Oh.
reference.
Yeah.
Gus, who sits on this side of the table, every time he starts it off, and then they go all the way
I
around,
guess
and
it
then
would be
and
that
Gus
side.
is
I
at the
hadn't
end.
really thought about that.
Yeah.
What a dick.
With the camera.
Yeah,
that
'cause-
is that
What
side.
a dick.
But he's the quote unquote host of the show, so he does all the, like the scheduling,
Most of
or
the time.
used to at least
Who's
do all
our
the scheduling
host?
and all that. I don't
Literally
know.
Matt.
I,
It's
I
literally
guess
his
I
house.
am hosting it. Yeah,
It's
I guess.
true.
So then come up with the topics, damn it.
Ultimate
Everybody's-
Podcast
everybody's-
League.
supposed to-
everybody's on the hook
this
for that.
is-
I know.
This is a communism. Everyone's
First-
Okay,
supposed to
well I
first
have our
topic,
first topic.
Shots.
Yeah, shots. Yeah, yeah Brendan stole
We're
it.
on
Damn
the
it.
same
Are you
one.
getting it? You want me?
Same
I
page.
can.
All right.
All right, is this this is got a chaser to it because there's way too many.
Lemonade.
So
Oh,
you
okay.
take
Two for each.
You take
Hey,
two.
hey,
Take two.
we haven't been drinking yet, so
It's true. We are doing this incredibly early.
And me and Brendan
Back
missed
to back.
last
It is
week.
like 7:45 here right now. Normally we're not down here for another 2 hours.
back to back, boys.
Is this like rosé?
Oh, they smell delicious.
They do smell.
Smells like a Sour
really
Patch
good.
Kid.
All right.
So, quick back to back, or do you want to do one,
to
savor it,
back.
and
Hold
then
on. Hold on.
back
We
to back?
should- what
Back
we
to back.
should do is take one, save it, and then every time someone just calls out somebody, take your last shot.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that these ones are good, so
Also, it's
everybody's
just
gonna
be-
want to take
within
'em.
the next 5 minutes. Everyone's gonna have
Yeah.
taken
All right,
both their
all
shots
right.
anyway. So.
Ready? Go.
Watermelon pucker.
Here you go. Thanks, bro.
Yum.
Joel nailed it.
Dude, that tastes
is
like
That's it?
the fuck.
Can we do something that doesn't
Like a Jolly
have
Rancher
so much
almost?
sugar in
Almost, but like the
That was good.
they come
The
in like a
watermelon
little
Jolly
circular
Rancher.
tin. The mints, like the things. I don't
Lifesavers.
remember. No, they're not lifesavers. They're
it?
like
What?
they look like little
Oh,
pills.
Altoids?
No, the other
the
ones.
icebreakers or
That
whatever.
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
The fruity
Um,
ones it does.
Go
Yeah.
fish.
It wasn't just watermelon pucker. It was called a watermelon kamikaze. So it was watermelon pucker, vodka, and lime juice.
Well, it was
Yeah.
delicious. and
Yep.
we
That
should
was
do
very, very good.
It
We
tasted
should do
just
that
like
more
the
often.
watermelon version of those icebreakers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little things.
Why don't we do that more often?
Because I just found out about it today.
All right, boys. So
That's why.
if you want to jump
Fuck
into
you,
it,
Joel.
I had a thought today,
Sweet, let's go.
Hold on.
It's too bad we missed you last
Dun-dun-dun.
week.
and it's
Joel's
nothing
thoughts.
crazy. No,
No,
just,
2 weeks ago.
dun-dun-dun.
Because that
Joel
was the,
thought.
just abbreviated. So
That's what it is. Dun-dun-dun.
in my
Dun-dun-dun.
in my building, then not copyright from ESPN.
Yeah, that's very close.
I know, right?
No, it was the tone. Was,
Ba-da-da. There you go.
All right.
There you go.
No, it goes dun 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 dun.
Not
So-
dun 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 dun
Hey.
dun.
Hey, per request, can we just get like a ha 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 ha? Have you seen those TikTok videos? It's like a very dry laugh, and it's just like ha 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 ha.
Joel, I think we're all in the wrong generation to answer
Yeah.
yes to that
Well,
question.
you're missing out. Hey,
Somebody that can do that.
TikTok gang for life.
I get all of my TikToks through Twitter. So the good
Yeah.
ones
Yep,
make it to
same.
Twitter, and that's where I see them.
So
TikTok.
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 I
And
mean
we all
that's not
can't
far
speak.
off because TikTok is just a
WWD4.
new shitty version of Vine, which
have you
provided
been
Tosh
on
with all of
TikTok?
his. No,
Your boy
because
lives on it every night, and
I
it's fantastic.
Figured, yeah.
Honestly, there are some
It is
some
some
good ones,
funny-
but you have to find them in
There's
There's
some
a
rough.
bunch of
there's
shit.
some
There's
dark,
a
wade
bunch of
through.
them. You're just like, oh,
dark,
God,
funny,
that's
like
cringy.
weird.
But some of them are good.
So, being in a newer building where I work, there are a lot of bugs, and there have been times where, like, if there's a cricket on the ground, I'll just kind of like kick it or swipe it out of the way. Today, I had one where a beetle was running, and I kicked it, and then it like stopped moving, and I was like,
Looked
"Well,"
up at you and like.
I thought to myself, I was like,
What you say?
I know it's an insect, and like obviously they have some sort of brain, but can insects become concussed? I know.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, because and here's how I know.
I mean, isn't just a
Do you
concussion
count-
is your brain
do you-
rattling around in your head?
well,
Essentially,
insects don't really have a brain. They barely have a central nervous system. But what I've done before is I haven't done this in a long time because there have been a lot of flies in my house because I don't go outside. so my
he
door's
probably
never open.
tortures them.
No. So
he grabs them
you
and
can
just slowly
you
plucks
can
them.
if
can
you're quick
fly.
enough, you can grab the fly, right? And
Easy.
you got it in your hand.
Hey,
Okay,
Daniel,
Superman.
Daniel,
I'm
sorry.
always quick to
Easy.
grab my fly.
I use chopsticks.
Oh, okay.
Get them out of the air.
Mr. Miyagi. So you can grab the fly, and if you throw it on the
Hey!
ground really
They
hard,
just
they stop moving. They're not dead, but they're like stunned.
So
like
you've
they stop
stunned them.
moving.
Well, I mean, imagine like if
So
you're
yes,
walking
I would
around
imagine it would be possible.
and someone comes by and hits you with a fucking tree. It's probably gonna stun you for a minute.
No.
That's what you are.
It might kill you.
but like he said, the central nervous system, it's different. But at the same time, like, do you think then if that bug like does come to, it is just like fucked for life? Like,
I don't know.
I don't think
I
their I don't
mean-
think their nervous system is complicated enough to.
I'm sure
experience
someone's
damage
had to
like
sit
that.
there and research
because
that.
I'm
So
but-
someone's just been fucking pile driving a fly over and over again to see
How
if
long does it take to
stops
get
remembering
him?
things.
Die.
It gets
They-
Parkinson's and
They pick the toughest
Alzheimer's.
ones, and then after work they have a underground bug fighting ring.
They're just
Like,
like,
who's the toughest one? Who gets up faster?
Can you imagine a fly benching? Would it bench with all 6 legs?
I feel like
I don't
we've
know.
seen that in like a Family Guy episode or something like that
guarantee it.
before. I'm sure.
But then, like, you've probably done it too in the summer when the lightning bugs are out. If you smack them, then they stay lit up.
Because you're just
Huh.
rattling.
But, like,
their
'cause they'll
normal
Well,
flash
they're probably
process,
panicked at
essentially,
that
yeah.
point.
They
They're like,
fla-
"Oh God,
They flash,
Help!
and then when you
help!"
smack them, then they just stay lit.
What's
and
happening?
I
That's
take
their
them.
flare gun.
I would rub them on my basketball to make it light up.
Oh,
and then I
That
shoot
is
hoops.
dark.
Yeah,
That is serial
torturing the
killer
bug.
shit.
Actually, what is dark is I would go around at night with my baseball
Actually, I don't
bat
know
when
if
I was younger,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I would just ping, ping, ping,
I
ping,
did-
ping.
I
So
did that
what's-
Are we
too.
what's
sure
worse?
Joel's not a serial killer?
No.
All right, so
What's worse? Catching lightning bugs and rubbing them on your basketball so it glows in the dark, or catching flies, stunning them, and then throwing them straight into a spider web?
To be fair, when
Oh no, that's just being helpful to the spider.
That is helping the timeline.
That's messed
along
up.
Yeah, it's
with
just yeah.
when I was younger, I would
Or just
catch,
accelerating nature.
Reducing
Yes.
hunting time.
I would
yeah.
catch daddy longlegs and pull off every single leg and drop their body in water,
That's-
and they would just float.
What the fuck? Oh my
Serial
god!
Sociopath. Yeah.
Did I not just say that? And then Chris goes, no.
Honestly,
All right.
No, I said
No.
maybe.
All
I don't remember ever seeing daddy longlegs in
Not a spider.
around my house.
They were always
Yeah.
on the
I
side
always
of my
saw-
parents' house.
I always saw 'em
Also,
at,
daddy
like,
longlegs refers to 2 different kinds of spiders.
Well, there's
Well,
the
they're
daddy
the
long
most
leg and then
poisonous
the
spider
mommy
in the world.
long leg.
That's not true. Yes. No, there's.
Can't bite.
That's not true.
I have heard
They
that
proved that.
they are poisonous, but their fangs don't penetrate human skin.
That is
so
true. Both of those things are still true. They are venomous, and they do have fangs that are too small to penetrate human skin. The thing is that their venom is not really that dangerous.
I've also
So-
heard that the daddy long leg is the kinky version.
Shut
of
up!
the
I
venom.
knew you were gonna go there. I knew. I was waiting for it. The moment I said it.
couldn't
So
hold
there's
a straight
there's
face.
there's the bug that you're thinking of, the daddy long leg, and then there's
Let's
also
make him
the
freakier.
spider that makes all the cobwebs in your
Daddy
house. I'm sure
long
you've seen them.
Mhm.
They're like tiny. They're like yellow in color, and they kind of anytime you get near them, they scamper to the nearest corner. Like they're like the bitches of the spider
Yep.
world.
So
But they kill like millipedes and shit. So
the picture I've seen
I'm in
is
the corner.
it's a meme and it says, "Oh, it's scientist. What should we name it?" And he's like, "Long leg," and the other guy says, "Not kinky enough." And he goes,
Yeah, that's what
"Daddy
it was.
long leg."
That's
and I'm
what
like,
it
God.
All right, so I googled, can insects
Did you get a new phone?
concussions? I did get a new phone.
Nice.
Yes, the Galaxy S10.
nice.
Lovely.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
I know.
apparently they're
Can you
running
throw it at
some
the wall?
No.
Well,
They're
Why
running.
not?
You could.
Well, so I accidentally. I didn't do it. It got pushed into water. My old phone, and so like
did-
I pulled it out and there was no water on
Did you
it,
put
kind
it
of
in
thing.
rice?
No, we didn't have any rice because I was at work.
I'm pretty sure that the
Because we
Galaxy
ate it.
S7 is IPX67 rated.
Yeah, I
Pretty
don't
sure
I
it's
don't know.
waterproof.
But and it was
Water
fine when I pulled
resistant.
it out and it was working, and then
No,
like
no,
an
no.
hour
Don't do
later
that shit.
I would like click one spot on the screen and it would think I was clicking somewhere else,
Oh,
or I
yeah.
wouldn't touch it and be freaking the fuck out kind of thing. And so I was like, oh great, it's fucked. I'm gonna have to go get a new phone. Turned it off and let it charge overnight and like just let it sit. Woke up the next morning, worked perfectly fine, didn't have a problem. And I was like, fuck it, I'm still gonna go get a new one.
I've already resigned myself
Yeah.
to needing a new
Man,
phone. so.
Actually, what was really nice was when I went in, they were doing some special where whatever that if you got the S10, they gave you the Galaxy Buds for free, which
Oh,
is like
nice.
the AirPods essentially,
Oh,
but
yeah.
the Galaxy version. So yeah, and those are like $100, $130, something
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that,
Got it
yeah.
for free with my phone.
Yeah.
That's
You can
awesome.
Find a knockoff brand on Amazon.
Well, yeah, but
you could,
I mean,
or you could buy the Skull Candy Indies that they just dropped.
Yeah, same difference.
Which
Yeah.
they
but
look a
guess
lot
what?
like
I
earpods.
didn't have to
but
buy
black.
anything, and I got them for free. So
Yeah,
That's how I got my Beats, because Apple does a back to school every year, and I used my student account, bought the laptop
yep.
for Tally to use, and then I was like, free Beats, why not? You know,
Yep.
she wanted it anyway. So
All right. Well, anyway, I googled can insects get concussions, and the first response was a Ask Science Reddit thread.
Oh,
So
nice.
I don't know how reliable this is, but
It's probably a
Wait,
little more
wait,
reliable
wait,
than
wait.
us.
Reliable this is.
He
did I
said,
said reliable,
I
didn't
thought
I?
I heard it right.
Oh,
I thought I heard it right too.
I did.
I heard
not.
reliable.
I heard reliable. I was like, what?
First response is no. A concussion is caused by
keep
trauma
bending
to
the
the
elbow.
cranium that causes the brain to contact the inside of the skull with enough force to cause an injury. Since insects don't have endoskeletons and dedicated brain cases, any trauma that would be sufficient to cause a concussion would just kill the insect.
like
So-
technically, they couldn't bleed out. You
Well,
know,
I
like
think-
if you were to have a brain bleed.
no,
or
but if
something,
you poked
they
a hole
just
in them, they
die.
would eventually die.
They just
Like,
look like marshmallows when you
I think
squish 'em.
concussion's the wrong term that we're.
It's the term that
searching
we're
for.
familiar
We're
with.
looking for shock, like
shock or
well,
stun.
Stun.
and then further down it says, in addition, since they don't have a
Yeah,
dedicated
but if you stun gun
cerebral
somebody, they're not, like,
ganglia,
stunned.
which in this diagram that's on
Shocked.
here it shows,
like a brainstem,
um,
basically.
any trauma to their nervous systems are not as debilitating since their nervous system is not centralized. Since it's spread out over their whole body, they like it's not as.
But
so if you hit
impactful
one
to
or
that
throw
one
one with
spot.
enough force, it can impact the whole body. So all of the nerves are like.
Hey,
for
first
example.
response. So when I catch a fly with my hand and throw it on the ground, why is it seemingly KO'd for 10 or so seconds? They always get back up and fly away after that. What's
Well,
happening?
So technically, think about it. If a bug flies
response
with
to
enough
that.
force into a window, they can kind of do it themselves, like a bird would, because
Right.
bugs, like June bugs, have no sense of
Fucking hate
direction.
June bugs.
They just fly into everything.
Yes.
You know, I'm sure that after a while they just stun themselves, get back up, and then go again. You know,
That's why they're always upside down. It's because they don't know where they're going anymore.
Also, there's a whole bunch of like replies to him saying like, "Ah, you're a fucking idiot." So I don't know if that's 100% true or not. so-
Also, I know that. I mean, June bugs do that though, because when I replaced
They
my
what?
they do. When I replaced my garage door,
June bugs.
that's when you
Stupid.
do the dry.
soundbite.
Yeah.
dude.
So
He's gonna be watching his words now. Like
no, I don't care.
doo doo.
So my garage door used to be what, like a beige color, like a drab kind of color. Got it
Kinda like
replaced,
these
and
walls.
it's like kind of, and it's like a bright
A
white.
drab color.
So
Oh,
That's on,
God.
that's on the color wheel.
right next to beige and taupe.
Beige, drab, or it's just parentheses and says vomiting
Vomit
noise.
in mouth.
Vomiting noise.
Throw up in mouth.
My garage door is bright white now, and I have really bright LED lights in the front of my garage as
So
well.
it's like a bluish white.
I've never
Yes.
seen your house. I want to see your house.
We should all go to my house at some point. Anyway, so it became like a June bug
Party-
I
graveyard.
was 10 minutes away from it.
It's
Yeah, wait,
not
what'd
from
you
here.
say?
Or no, I was. Well,
I
no,
was
what-
10 minutes
10
away
minutes,
from it.
10-minute walk away from it.
Yes.
I was 10 minutes from it.
I
Not
hops-
from here, you
I
were.
hops 10 minutes away.
I was looking
it's
at
not.
a house.
Damn it.
I hopped
what
at
I
least
heard.
15 from here. So
It's
it became
bright
like a
white.
June bug
I'd
graveyard.
say about 10.
10 to 15,
10
but
to
not
15,
10.
okay.
I lean closer to 12 or 13. It became a June bug graveyard because they
Great, now
kept
we're
running
getting
into
too
my
much-
bright ass garage door over and over and over and over again until they died, and they landed in front. Their corpses landed in front of my garage door. So I came home one day because I think I was working overnight or something like that. Came home And like I open my garage door and I'm walking in, I'm like, what the fuck?
Crunch, crunch,
And there's just
crunch.
like 40 dead June bugs in front of my garage. I'm like, what the hell happened here?
You know what's fucking me up is we just moved in and I painted the front doorbell black, and with the storm door closed, every time I come home, I think the door's open.
Oh yeah, I can see that
Why'd you paint the front door black?
because there's lots of black. in
Feng
the house.
shui.
Okay.
No, it's boho.
Oh, boho.
What the fuck does that mean?
Don't ask.
Your guess is as good as mine.
It's a hobo that's dyslexic.
What?
Yeah. That was a good one.
I'm not sure. I don't ask questions.
So he's
I
just got like
do.
a trash
If
can
you
on
would
fire
follow
and-
Talia Fickle, then you would know.
She did.
She
hit,
hasn't said it, but
She did hit
I
10,000
learned.
followers on IG today.
I saw
She's
that.
the
Fucking on her way up. She's
She's-
gonna leave you in the
what is
dirt.
what is her page name?
She's
It's-
the Velvet Blonde.
That's it.
She's at Omaha Fashion Week tonight.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Big
Downtown.
ballin'.
At Ralston Arena.
And then
Oh, it's in Ralston now.
No, it was some other fashion show. I saw that.
I was like, what the fuck? They moved it?
what the hell?
They moved the Omaha Fashion
I think
Show to
it's down.
Ralston.
I think
I
it's
wouldn't be
Capital
surprised.
District.
Yeah, it's way.
The Ralston
there's
Arena
Omaha
is going to
Design
take what they
Center.
can get at this point.
Will they take
Let's
us? We'll
talk-
just go and
Speaking of-
fuck around.
Omaha-
We'll throw a football around.
Omaha has way too many arenas for being such a smaller
True.
city.
And no,
really?
no professional leagues at all.
Yeah. Agree or disagree?
We have semi-pros.
I don't-
Okay, we have semi, but no
I
professional.
don't really agree. Ralston Arena.
They lucked
is-
out when the Marshmallow Dome fucking collapsed at UNO.
Yeah, they did.
Because that was used for a lot of practices,
Yeah,
I
they
get.
did.
But, like, everyone went there. No one went to Ralston.
Well,
No
yeah,
one
it was
goes to
way
see a
cheaper.
show.
I would.
Yeah.
Well,
And when
And
you
I
have
guess-
a fucking issue of selling and not selling, and then third
It was
party
mismanaged
bullshit.
But
for a
then they
long
made the
time.
Baxter, and everyone's going to go to the Baxter because it's more of a collegiate type area
Well,
than
but
it
it's
is.
fucking expensive.
Ralston.
As fuck.
Yeah, no,
Nellie's going. Did you know that?
Yeah, well, yeah, no. I'm saying that. Like
don't-
concerts, yeah, because you make more money. Because
Right.
you can charge more for tickets.
I don't
But
agree
what I'm
that
saying
we
is,
have
like,
too
if
many.
you want to play a sport or hold an event, Ralston's cheaper.
I'm not going to say there's too many, but I do want to say that I think
You did just say there was too many.
the Ralston Arena, it makes it too many. If the Ralston Arena did not exist, then I think it would be fine.
No, and I disagree. So the thing is that they all serve a purpose. Because they're all differently sized is the thing. If they were all the same size, then I could agree with you.
I agree. And, like,
But-
UNO played there until they built their arena, but now that
Well,
they have
and
their arena, I don't see a point.
the
for-
Lancers play there.
Right.
And it's probably the perfect size for a team like the Omaha Lancers,
And
which
the
is an
Omaha
amateur.
Beef and the Omaha Heart. You
But
got
the,
out kicked. Get over it.
No, I played way better than the guy.
I know you did.
the Omaha
They're just
Lancers
idiots
are
and poor,
they're just
Well,
they're
that's the issue.
amateur,
out of money.
like barely out of high school hockey league. Like
I know.
Ralston Arena.
Ralston Arena is perfect for
Because
them.
where they used to
Out
play,
of money.
Exarban?
No, they used to play the Mid
Uh,
America Center for a
Mid-
long time,
and
and
then
before
they
that, the
went-
Civic Center.
Yep. The Civic
The Civic Center doesn't exist anymore, obviously, but
No.
they had already moved out of the Civic Center by the time they got.
Yeah.
to
So I guess
Washington,
one
so-
goes down and one comes up.
Right. Well,
did you ever hear the talks?
Civic Center came down, Baxter went up.
Did you hear the
That's
talks
how-
that they
that's
were
the
going to
timeline.
make where the Civic was? They were going to make that a business district or put a high V in there.
I highly doubt they're going to put Ivy there.
It would have been super beneficial because there is nothing like
They
that
could do
around
both.
downtown.
They could build like a
Mhm.
20 or 30-story
Nothing.
building, and the
High-V
first
be
two floors could be
smart.
high
High
V,
V.
and then everything else
I
could be
think that would
business.
be
They would-
very cool.
They'd probably have to fight heavily with
in order to
theft,
get a. Oh yeah.
if you think about it, where
Yeah.
where all the homeless people would be located would be downtown.
And not
Well,
even that,
especially-
but it's like
big-
that's
Then
just
you
not a
have a
location you would
grocery
ever
store.
expect to have a grocery store. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, but if you
no,
do
but it
think
does
about
suck.
it,
Everybody
but if
who
you
lives
live
downtown,
down there,
you
that
everyone
would
who
be
lives downtown,
awesome.
what do you have? Cubbies?
no, you
That's what you
that's-
have.
Yeah. Exactly.
You have
Yeah.
to go
You have to drive
to-
out of downtown.
Iowa,
Or that?
Yeah,
go to Broadway, or
Which-
you.
Yeah.
What,
Wait, hold on. What's the color of Broadway Street?
what color is meth?
Meth and jaywalking. That's what I
Yeah.
noticed on
Oh,
Broadway
shit.
Street.
Oh man,
Yeah.
jaywalking for real.
Otherwise, you go to
Fucking fuck Broadway Street.
the High V on Center, like 50th and Center, or you go all the way to the Walmart on 72nd.
I'm sure there are people who live
And you
downtown
don't
who
wanna
don't
do
have
that.
cars. So
Oh
what
yeah,
the fuck?
they
You're gonna
moved
Uber
downtown specifically to be
50th and
centralized,
Center
where they
and
don't
then
need
Uber
a car.
back with your groceries.
Well, I mean, also if you're downtown,
Yes,
you
yes,
probably,
you are.
I guess where I live, I'm so far out west or southwest that, I can't use like Favor. I guess I don't know. Think Favors.
You're
in Omaha,
isolated.
but like
cen-
DoorDash or
essentially, yeah.
any Grubhub, none of those.
That's
There's
kinda how
nothing
it
that
is in
delivers
Bellevue.
out to my
True.
house. But I'm sure if you're
At least not my
downtown,
part of
that's
Bellevue.
But from a
lot.
business standpoint, if you were to pay out the ass for that location for let's say a grocery store, even a smaller one, it would pay off, I think, immensely.
You think it would?
With
I
how
don't
many-
know. I think Brendan
If people
brought up
come
a
in
good
town for the
point.
College World Series and they have nowhere to go, they're going to go to the closest store to buy their beer, their food, everything.
Oh, and they have the.
If that's the
Yeah.
only
they
one
do have
there,
that
that's where you're going to
buffet.
go.
That buffet would be huge.
Yeah,
For
you
that
see
reason,
people
yeah.
You would
Yeah,
all the
but
people down
you would
there
need
for work.
security.
And
But
they're, and they're not going to
security.
they're not going to be
yeah,
open at night,
exactly.
so you don't have to
No.
worry about
It
people.
wouldn't be 24 hours. It
sneaking
would
in or
be
whatever.
just.
Yeah,
So-
that's true.
Although it'd almost be better to have it 24 hours
Well, I think you
would.
change
if you
your
have
times.
security
I think,
staff.
I think you change your time, then make it 24 hours during certain events. I mean, because
Or
if you
something
think
like
about
that.
it, like if Creighton plays,
Well, to the
We're
beer
open
point, you can't
24
sell beer
hours.
after a certain.
What
time
about
if
anyway,
the
so.
CWS,
Well,
24 hours on the weekend.
All the high
otherwise normal
V's
times
out
during the
west are 24 hours.
yeah,
True.
Except
Yeah.
for the liquor
So-
departments close at 10
But
or
there's no one
midnight
ever
or
there.
whatever. No, exactly, but
Plus, I mean, with Gene Leahy being what it is right now, although it looks
Being not.
different.
it looks crazy right now.
I haven't seen it in a while.
They so for anyone who doesn't know, Gene Leahy Mall used to be at least around like Douglas Street, 13th and
That was
13th.
It's
that was
14,
where I
13,
worked
12.
every
used to
day.
be. Used to be.
That's
It's
where I
like,
did all that.
Yeah.
What?
So it used
Did
to
they
like
ever
go
say
down.
why they were getting rid of it? Or
Modernizing.
They're bringing
That's
it
it.
to street level, and it's going to be more like a kind of a.
'Cause they're not
promenade,
having.
like
there's
a
no
public
stream
park.
through it, right? There's no water.
No,
Not
There was
until,
one.
not until you get to closer to the river.
There
So for what
was.
it's worth, when I worked down there, and that was my district that I took care of, they talked about that back in like 2013, like way back,
Mhm.
and no one ever thought it would be a thing.
They're probably
And then
scraping
it
the
finally
money
is-
together.
When all that
fuck yeah,
Water
they're
was
trying
in the
to tax
middle.
us more.
in the fall, I would walk through there with a net and hip waders, like up to my chest in that water, ice cold water, scooping out trash and
I
stuff.
always
It's
kind of
not
wondered
that cold,
what was
though.
By
underneath
myself.
there.
You
on
don't
the
get
weekend.
fucking cold.
By
They,
myself on the weekend.
Depending on what waders you wear,
If
you
there's a hole
motherfucker.
in there, then it gets a
Oh,
little
it
chilly.
sucks.
They from what I remember, they pulled at least 2 bikes out of the Gene Leahy Mall. I work in the building right next to it, so we sometimes when
Just watch
when
it over.
14th Street was still or 13th Street was still open before they closed it to do everything. Which, by the way, 13th Street isn't going to exist in that spot anymore. It's just gone.
I'd pull out
Damn.
bikes, skateboards. There was a
Perfect.
drone
think.
one time,
Oh, nice.
golf
Drone?
balls, anything you can think of.
You got
pulled
me
it
some
out of there.
decoys.
Pulled it out of there.
What'd you
So-
do with all this stuff? Throw it
They
away?
just throw it away.
It's all mossy, trashy. Fuck.
Yeah,
I
there ain't
kept
be
one
no way.
skateboard. It wasn't terrible. It was a penny board, which are like $80.
But anyway, so that all used to so like what Joel was saying, to get to the water, it was all like there was an incline to
Downhill.
go
It was a
down.
valley.
There were a bunch of trees. So they filled all of that in with dirt. And they did that within like 4 days.
Holy shit.
That's a lot
crazy.
of dirt.
The World Herald ran an article about how much dirt it would take to fill it. And I saw the article, and then like a day later it was filled.
What
How much
blew
dirt
my
did
mind?
they need?
It was like somewhere in the thousands of like hundreds of thousands of truckloads
What
of dirt.
blew my mind was all the trees that were through there, because that's where they would do all the lights. Just gone when they cut
So,
out
I
every
have a-
tree. I was like, that is unreal.
I have a,
So where the fuck
dumb
are they gonna
bitch
put the
juice moment
lights?
about the trees. So I was going to work one day on the weekend, I think it was. I had to go in I had to fix
I'm
something.
gonna interrupt you for what it's worth. The triangles on the north side, black, yellow, red. I thought of you every time because it was the German flag color.
Oh, yeah. So I was driving past my building, and I had to turn left onto 13th Street, and I was trying to look up 13th Street because off of Douglas is right where that bridge is, and you can turn left on Red in Omaha, at least in Nebraska, I think. You can turn left on Red as long as you're turning left onto a one-way street.
Oh,
I was like,
yes.
how the fuck?
So
Yes, it's like a right turn.
right, exactly. So it's like that's the only direction that you could go, so there's no reason to stop and wait. So as long as the traffic's clear. The problem is that
You have to
at
turn
least-
to the inside lane too.
correct.
Yeah.
You're
People don't-
you're
people do
supposed
not
to.
get
You're
that.
always supposed to turn to the inside lane. Nobody
Always.
ever does that.
No.
Even on right turns, whatever.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of hard to see traffic coming off that bridge, though. So I always just like kind of waiting, and I was like looking, and I was like, something is weird about what I'm looking at right now. I don't understand what's different. It's weird. I understand that something is different, but I can't put my finger on it. Oh well, whatever. Turned left. Went to work the next day because I think this was on like a Sunday. Went to work the next day and was like, "Fuck! All the trees are gone. How the fuck did I not
It
know
does.
all
It
the
looks so
trees were
weird.
gone?" I was like,
They were big.
I could see the
They're big
fucking Brandeis
trees.
building.
Gone.
I could see the old market from here. That's
Right.
weird.
They're
I didn't
big
even really think
trees,
anything
yeah.
of it.
You know what's crazy is I went down there not last weekend, but the weekend before, and I was like, wait, aren't we supposed to be doing something down here? And then it was just a shit show anyway. So I was like, yeah, there's no trees over there. Where's
It's
Where
so
the hell-
different.
it's way different.
13th is the street that's the bridge.
With the bridge.
It's
so
the furthest
it would've
west bridge.
I went to elementary school with a kid that jumped off that bridge into the lagoon.
Why'd he jump off?
Just
of that?
for shits and giggles.
Fuck.
Who
I'm
was
pretty
it?
sure it's 13th and 10th. Were
The
the
water,
only
the
two.
water
10th
there
is
is
the last
deep.
one.
The
Yeah.
water's deep. Yeah, it's 10th, 13th, and then goes 15th in front of the library, 16th right behind it,
That's
or
what I'm thinking.
14th, 15th, 16th. But
Bless you, man.
Thanks.
so I know before they used to have like a bank down there. The arches that were by the slides were from like Centennial Bank, and they put in that whole Gene Leahy Mall in like I want to say the 70s. I could be wrong. So it hasn't
Sounds
been
about right.
around for like a super long time as
Right.
far as the history of Omaha. But for them, I think just to like wipe everything. Because I think the model that I've seen, they want to put in
To
like
go
an
fish.
amphitheater, and
Yeah.
they're going to keep the slides potentially, I think.
They're
Or-
trying
No,
to
they are
copy
keeping the
La
slides.
Vista right now, or what?
Copying La Vista.
I don't know if they're copying
Yeah.
La
How?
Vista, but
Well, La Vista's
They're
making
putting
a whole
in
new.
the district
Where?
corridor on
84th.
84th, where the old Walmart used to be.
I don't think I've lived here long enough to know where the old
apartments,
Walmart
South-
is.
South of
stores,
Harrison, north of Giles.
amphitheater.
It's going to be years before they
Okay.
get it done, but when they do, they're
It's all,
if
that,
they
it's all that Facebook money. They're like, let's go.
They're freaking close.
if they
dude.
get the Facebook's Papillion, I think.
It is.
If they get the
Yeah, 'cause
bars
Papillion's-
and the restaurants that are going to go in, that actually go in, it could be a very cool district.
Have you seen
Which
Facebook?
places say they're going?
building?
I haven't yet, no.
Oh my!
It's close
Where-
to
where's
the
that
route
at?
that I
It's
take
down
to
on-
get here.
straight down 144th Street here.
It's like right outside
over
Springfield.
370. It's just
Oh,
south
yeah,
of
dude.
370.
Yeah,
I
Huge.
saw them building that.
I saw it on the way
shit
to
'cause
the
I'd
Sarpy
go
County Fair. It was
It's,
I'd
it's
go
an
hunt
area
that
that's
way.
like that's
Oh my
Papillion.
God.
It's out in the middle. Well, they
Papillion
consider
started.
it, yeah.
It's
Well,
towards-
they
it's
started
towards
annexing the
Papillion's
fuck
been
out of
annexed.
it.
They
a
set up their own
lot.
power grid out there. So you like come
Yeah.
across those corners where there's like that whole power grid that's all fenced off. They have one of those just specifically for them.
Also,
they needed it.
And essentially, isn't Google building something too to piggyback off
Nebraska.
of that?
Google
Not
is
here.
over in Council Bluffs.
No, I think they're putting in something. Or
I don't
maybe
think
it's
so.
maybe
Google's
it's a different
been pretty,
company. That,
Google's been pretty fucked off with Nebraska
Tyson,
since the whole Google
Tyson
Fire
or
thing.
Costco put their chicken factory.
no, there's another
in
a tech
Fremont.
company
So
that
that's way north.
I thought I heard was going in like right next
Oh,
to Facebook,
Facebook
to
and-
piggyback off of
I thought I
like
heard
all the
it-
infrastructure
it
that
might
Google
be.
got
Yeah.
put in for them.
It might
It
be an
is.
There is a
Amazon,
building next
like
to it.
AWS.
No, it
maybe,
is
maybe it was
Amazon.
Amazon. Maybe that's what it was.
They're
No, it's
put-
like a technical staff or something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah, it's like an Amazon AWS.
because Yahoo used to be in La Vista, but next year, what I heard is La Vista will be annexing Oriental Trading Company. When they built that, they were in like a 10-year deal that they would not annex them, but it'll be up, and then
Yeah.
they're going to annex
A couple
Oriental
feet.
Oh,
Trading
so they're
Company.
gonna change their outline of the city
Like,
to
take
a
it over.
square.
But what's
Instead
crazy?
of a straight line down Harrison Street.
It's not.
No,
it's
no, no,
Really
so-
weird.
Come and Go right there on
La Vista-
108th and
La Vista
Giles.
did not annex
That's
things
owned
fast
by
enough.
Papillion,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but the other side
But
is
the
Papillion,
road is
but the road
La
is La Vista.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all
So wait. So when
Well, no,
I
I think
say
the Come and Go in the
Cross-Train
neighborhood
is in La
behind it,
Vista,
right?
It's actually in Papillion.
No,
Cross-train-
Cross Train is in La Vista.
Cross
Oh.
trains.
But if you
Vista.
walk to the other side of that street, you're in Papillion.
Oh, where those houses are?
Yeah. Those
What
are in
the
Papillion.
fuck?
Yeah.
Portal.
But then if
Portal
you go to
belongs
the other
La
side of the
Vista.
neighborhood and get up to Giles, that's Giles.
Giles.
Giles
We
itself.
can't talk.
Giles
Hey.
itself
That's
is
my
La
black
Vista.
friend Javiles.
Giles itself is La Vista, but the neighborhood on the north and the south side are both Papillion.
That's weird.
Uh huh.
But then if you go up to 96 and down, that's where the police station's at
Yeah.
in La Vista.
yeah, it's
That's so
it's like
weird.
I said, Portal belongs to La Vista.
Portal
so do-
and
So
Giles.
does that
So then does
strip mall
so
there,
like
Cross Train
is
Pint Nine are in.
the Home Depot and over there, is that part of Papillion or
That's
La
Papillion.
Vista?
That's
Ooh,
Papillion,
that's
I believe.
Papillion.
I
Yeah.
always
You have to
call
Over on
drive.
72nd,
You have to
right?
drive through downtown
Yeah.
Papillion
Or
to get
on
there.
72nd or on
You don't.
84th?
I mean, depending on where you're coming from.
84th.
84th. The Home Depot and the Target. That is Papillion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other one's La Vista.
So when you get up Harrison, so
Walmart and Lowe's.
No,
is La
those are
Vista.
also Papillion, I'm pretty sure.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Papillion did a
No
really
wonder
good job
La Vista's-
annexing stuff.
yeah.
La
Taxes
Vista,
that's
are
all
shit.
Papillion.
La
Where,
Vista
where
did not.
the Chick-fil-A and all that's everything south of 72nd and Harrison is Papillion, and then there's like the weird cutoff line
Yeah.
to where like
for-
Home Depot, Target. Once you're south of Harrison on 84th, that's all Papillion, because like that's where the high school is.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
That's all Papillion.
That reminds me that there was a vote on whether or not my neighborhood was getting annexed, and I don't remember how it went. Well, I don't know how it went. I
His
guess
taxes
not
are
He
going
doesn't
up.
know where he
Must not have
lives
been that
anymore.
important.
Well, it was on the 13th is when they had the public hearing about it. So I don't know.
They've been having public hearings in La Vista.
Although I
think
don't
it was
know
'cause
if
the
public
84th
hearings have
corridor,
anything
but-
to do with
They
it.
did.
Whew.
Oh, actually,
I
now
went,
that I
so
look
we
at it,
they had an
Trace,
employee one that we went to, and they gave like the rundown, and then the public one I think is like was August 20th
Well,
or
they're-
something or last
I'm
week.
pretty sure they're thinking about taking more of the land in my neighborhood, that park that's back there.
Apollo.
Yeah, that the
Say not
houses that are
Champion. I
up
drove by that
against
earlier. and
the
it's
old
not a
golf
park.
course. I think they're trying to take more of their backyard.
From the houses.
Yeah, which they've
Yikes.
already they have their normal, but they're like, we want our extra 5 feet.
We want more.
Right.
Well, that's their easement.
So
Well, yeah, but
now that I'm looking at it, like a map of the city outlines, that where Cross Train is, that strip mall there,
yeah,
Is it unincorporated?
it's unincorporated Sarpy.
okay.
It's neither Papillion nor La Vista, but Portal Road that it's right off of is La Vista. Yeah,
so their
'Cause Papillion-
taxes are cheap.
because Papillion owns. Oh well, no, it might be Papillion actually. I don't know. This really weird. It might be Papillion. Now that I'm looking at
La
it,
Vista did a really
so then,
terrible
how is
job of
Cabela's
planning
La
out.
Vista? It's so
because La
weird.
Vista extends so much further to the west. Like
La Vista is super wide, but very short.
yeah,
La Vista goes pretty much all the way to that roundabout. Right over here. Like from behind Cabela's to
Oh,
this
yeah.
round or the lights, I guess is
The
they
lights.
didn't put it in a roundabout.
yeah, it's
To
to
there.
to where I-80 is.
but the
pretty
big
much.
Okay.
the big parking lot in front of Cabela's is owned by the city of La Vista because it's like a runoff lot. To where if there was more people from the embassy or the hotels, they can park in Cabela's because
okay.
it's owned by the city.
Okay.
So that whole lot is city. So like when we would do Cabela's parking lot, we do trash. We would do like trim all the bushes and like do all that because it's owned by the city.
Gotcha. I bet they love that shit.
Yeah, they
Sure,
don't.
you can
The
own
only thing
this.
they do is wrangle
Yeah.
carts.
Right?
Otherwise, and like right up next to the building.
Yep.
Otherwise, no, they don't do
Yeah.
a thing.
Really
Then you
convenient
got
for
the
them.
Costco in there now.
Yeah.
Holy hell. What happened to the plans to put that sports complex in right
It
when
was a
you're-
wash. Too expensive. They
Yep.
should have because it was right off the interstate with
Yeah.
all that stuff, hotels. It would have been, I think, awesome. but-
Perfect.
Would have
It
been.
was-
They
would've
ran
been
out
great.
of money, didn't they?
Yeah.
They ran out
And
of
then
funding.
they picked up that corridor.
yeah.
Did you hear they're putting in a Hooters though next to Boot Barn?
Yeah, but
But
which
what
is,
about a?
is that that's that building.
What about a Tutors?
couldn't
yeah,
remember.
yeah. What about a Tutors?
We could put one in next to Hooters.
and
Hooters.
Tutors?
That sports complex would have
Hooters,
been great
Tutors.
for lacrosse in Nebraska because there would have been more.
It would have been
places to
sweet.
play
So
Right.
lacrosse.
Exactly.
before I wrapped up playing club soccer, they built one of those down in Kansas City,
Yep.
and I forgot what they called it, like Overland Park, and
Yep.
it was all turf, big
That's
stadium
where-
lights. It was just incredible.
That's where they play KC
You could
barbecue
do
tournament.
weekend tournaments.
Barbecue showdown for
Nothing
lacrosse.
gets messed up because it's turf. You know, you
Yep.
take care of it, but not like you would for grass. And like it's nothing but a moneymaker because everyone pays to play there.
So is that field just up for sale now, or
I
what
don't
is
know.
like,
It's just an
Probably
empty.
not.
like it's
If
just
it's owned by
freaking empty.
If it's owned by a city, the city's going to hold on to it until the end of time. The lot that's right next to where I work, right across from UP, that's been empty for fucking 20 years at this point. UP owned it for a long time. They were kind of being dicks about like who they were going to sell it to because they, they were going to ask a lot for it because it's prime real estate. Well, they sold it to the city, I think, for $1 in exchange for like massive tax breaks because that's what UP needs. It's for Lance and all of his coke. Actually, is what it's for.
that one,
Uh,
that guy.
Call-
Callback.
So
Major callback.
we were talking
Well,
about Lance
episode
today
10.
at work, actually. Yeah. So, so the city owns it now, and they have signs out front of it now. They're like, imagine your business or imagine this is a corporate headquarters or something like that. I think they've had offers on
Imagine.
from people trying to buy the land, but after what happened with the Gavilan building, where so the World Herald the World Herald building used to be on the lot that the Gavilan building's on right now, which is at 13th, 14th, and Capitol.
when they demolished the whole thing, right?
Right. They
Yep.
took the whole thing down and turned it into a park. They had the arches at the front of it. So the World Herald, I don't remember if they sold it to the city and then the city sold it to Gavilan, or if the World Herald sold it to Gavilan. But however Gavilan came to own that land, they built a 4-story building in the middle of downtown.
Oh yeah.
And the city of Omaha is like, go fuck yourself. So now they're waiting for somebody to build something that's like at least as tall as the UP building, if not taller than the First National building, which is catty corner to it.
Yep.
So speaking of that, one thing I've never noticed in La Vista, there is like a city ordinance that your business sign cannot be over a certain height. So if you drive through La Vista, there is no sign like taller than a building. Everything is down like right next to the ground. The tallest one I think is the Walmart on 96.
I was gonna say like the only tall ones that you ever see are like the ones on 84th. It's like the McDonald's and the Taco Bell, but since they're set down from actual
It's like
where
road
84th
height.
is, yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can only be a certain
Yeah.
height, which is weird because everywhere else you can at least
Yeah.
go up. So I came across this. I was looking. Teen Party Game Night is what La Vista put on, which reminded me back to when we were in high school. Do you remember when they would put on like, was it Night Storm?
Yeah.
Is
it'd
that
be
what it
like
was called?
raves.
Did you ever
God.
go to it? Like
I
the,
went once.
Where did they
someone
have
was
this?
just talking
they
about
had
It
it.
was at, like,
They had it
Diggs.
random, but they had one at Diggs.
Diggs is the one I went
Okay.
to.
The
but
person that I heard
dude.
about it from said it was like the
But-
hugest fucking sexual assault and harassment.
Yeah. So
That's
why,
all it
why
was.
would you ever want to put that on with a bunch of high schoolers? Like, what in your right mind would make you? It
I
just
mean,
sounds
I
like
get,
trouble.
I get the kind of idea. Like if you could have like a
For the money.
nightclub,
Yeah,
like
So-
a nightclub for teenagers. You can't drink, can't get in if you're drunk, can't but you gotta have some sort of security.
when I
walking
grew
around.
up, I always wanted to own something like the Center. That was a place where if you were in middle school, high school, you could just go hang out and play games or do stuff or whatever.
Fuck,
Like
the center's
like an
outrageous.
arcade.
because I spent my
That's
like
what
high
you're
school, like we'd
describing.
always go up to Miller's House, like
Right,
we'd
we
stay at the
went
school. We'd
somewhere.
just find
Yeah,
something to do. But if you had somewhere to go and hang out, you could be with your friends. And
I
just
think
But
that
meet
here's
would
up.
the
cut.
thing.
I think that would cut a lot of.
This
the,
is America, so we're going to open one of those, but it's going to cost you $20 to get in. And then anything that you want to do inside, you got to buy tokens to do it, and the tokens cost
See,
$20 for
That's
5
why I'd want to make my.
And
If
we're-
you
That's
paid
what I'm,
a
but that's
certain
what would
fee-
happen.
that
That's
is how
exactly
it
what
is.
would happen.
That
if
has
you
described
tried that.
Dave and Buster's.
And, no,
It's
and we're
all
gonna
shit,
call it.
Dave and Buster's, the Mark, any
So
any
We're gonna call it
place
the
like
Family
that.
Fun Center, and then we're
Yeah.
gonna shut
So
it
I've
down.
had- I've had that
Exactly.
thought.
I mean,
It's-
that's what those places are.
It's insane that everything in life costs money. No matter
Is it all
what you
shut
do,
down now?
costs money.
Even the one
Yeah.
off
Everything. Like,
Yeah,
but
they-
108th?
they
if there
moved
was
it.
a place growing
They
up
moved it
where
and
you
then
could
closed
go,
108th.
No, it's closed.
They moved it
Oh.
from 72nd to
No,
108th. They're
it's
like
closed.
bigger, better, and then it was there for like a year, and they're
It
like,
was
I don't
a
even know if
"Oh,
it was
we're
a
out."
year.
It
But
was
yeah.
a
shit
Side
hole.
note:
Damn.
they're selling all of those machines.
All the
right
machines.
now.
Yo,
everything
let's
in
go
there.
get
They're
some
all
shit.
for sale.
Let's go get some shit.
It was on Facebook. I
But
saw.
then you still
I
got to
want the
come in
roller
and buy the
coaster.
tokens so you can play them at home.
Right.
Son of a
Yeah.
bitch. There's a mode you can flip
you
it
can
on.
set them. But yeah, who
No.
in their right mind? Did anyone ever go to Night Storm? Or
I
anything
went
like that?
once
Fuck.
for like
Look who
10
you're
minutes,
talking to.
and I was out.
Every week.
every goddamn night. No, they went
Is that
on
what
for
you're
like
going for?
3
Is that-
years. I
No,
never. I never
was like,
went.
look who you're talking to, and then I realized Trace is sitting next to me. Trace could go to that stuff. I could not go to that stuff.
Why could you?
So I was making a bubble
He
for
was
look who
like-
you're
he was
talking
like,
to.
Is it
look
because of
who-
your
But
parents?
I wasn't
But
like, yeah, I went to
literally-
Night Storm.
There was
and-
no point in going
and
because I
fricked.
could go home and do the same exact fucking thing.
But like,
Trace didn't go to Night
for
Storm
free.
because he could drink at home and it didn't matter.
but like also you
You
remember
turn the lights
And
on.
we
Hardly-
didn't go because we could drink at
hardly-
Trace's house, so it
Yeah.
didn't matter.
Hardly, not true.
because
not
you
true.
remember like beginning of high school at the dances, you could like go and like actually dance,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like no one would say anything.
Oh, yeah.
But then there was like some incident at one of the schools where something sexual happened, and then they're like, lights on, you can't be on each other.
Leave room
And
for
I was
Who,
Jesus.
like,
hey,
oh
you
my
remember that
God.
one homecoming?
my
Who
favorite
was it?
phrase
Was it
ever.
Joey and somebody was up on the
So they did the single ladies.
backdrop.
It was
Yes,
Kendra and Joy.
yes.
They did it across the top.
yes,
heaven,
and then they said
and
if
then they were
anybody else
like,
goes
oh,
up
what?
there,
Like, just-
we're shutting it down. And then like 6 seniors went up there and they
just
shut the
ran
fucker
by.
down.
Yeah, everyone was like,
They
I don't
weren't
give a
kidding.
shit. Oh, I do remember that.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was like crazy because like when you were younger, you could dance with the older girls in
Oh, if I
school,
muted you.
and it was incredible. But then once you got up to that age where like you knew and like you wanted to dance with girls, it was like
We couldn't.
you can't.
I remember
And it was like,
I was dating
okay.
one
Can't.
girl at senior prom. We got in trouble because we were too close.
Unreal. You could always
Interesting.
slow
Because
dance.
we were dancing.
Huh.
I know, Brendan, you wouldn't know, but
Did you ever go to
Girls?
any
I,
dances or anything?
What do you mean?
Yeah,
I only
you
went
Like
to my
what kind
junior
of
prom.
dances? I went to
Prom.
I had to go to fucking 2 homecomings every year and 2 proms every year.
Had to.
I didn't
yeah, because he had
have
his
to,
and hers.
but I didn't have to. But at the same time, I had to.
What'd you do to your hand?
Ooh, that's a good question.
fucking backhanded a motherfucker that.
You wanna know what makes
It's on the wrong
dances
side of
I
your
went
hand.
Hey
to.
for
guys, some
backhanding.
big ass
I went,
black guy
like,
tried to
chopped.
threaten to knock me out on Saturday night.
Was his name Javiles?
I don't know.
Real
I
quick.
should have asked.
I couldn't find the list with all the things going in. I was looking.
I only went to my junior prom,
What
but it
did you
was
do?
with my future boss's daughter.
There was just
and,
a cut,
Hmm.
and it kept opening.
Should've
I've
fucked
told that
her.
story here, have I not?
Yeah.
I did not.
I-
Nothing happened.
I had a girl in class, and she had a big Band-Aid on her hand, and I was like,
Ooh,
"Oh, what
thought I was
happened?
going somewhere else.
What happened?" Thinking that she like cut her hand or something, and she was like, "I had a wart burnt off," and like realized that I totally singled her out in front of the whole class. And I was like, "Oh," I was like,
And then you're like,
I-
Wart.
"Ah!" No, I
Joe
was
right
like,
there.
Money.
I was like, "Oh, I used to get those too. You know, they happen," and just played it off, and no one said anything.
Yeah, it was no cool cut. It was just a tiny one, but it was where it would open when my hand was moving, and then if I got sweat in it, it would fucking sting. So I was like, "Fuck this shit."
She was like, "Better be a pussy
Better
and put a
fucking
Band-Aid on
put
it."
a Band-Aid on it, so if it doesn't open,
Shit.
Christ.
Did you at least
Sweat.
put some
Matt,
cream
what
on
was
there?
your
Fuck no.
topic from the beginning?
shots?
You were
Shots.
gonna
Yeah, it was shots.
Oh,
yeah.
that was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Son of a
Speaking
bitch.
of high
That's why I
school,
said Brennan stole it.
speaking of high school, this has kind of nothing to do with it, but high school. I drove by a high school, our high school, on the way, and it was when they're letting out all the kids today, and so traffic's backed
from their
up. So I had to
cages?
sit. They're letting them out of school today.
Try subbing and trying to leave.
And so,
So,
I'm
yeah,
sitting
from their
out.
cages.
I'm sitting out on the main street there, and I'm like watching like all
Like
these
Q?
kids walk away. Yes, Q Street.
Yeah, we all went to Miller South. We all know that.
I'm
What?
watching like all these kids walk away, and I honestly I couldn't stop myself. I was judging each single one and guessing where they sat in the social hierarchy of high school. I honestly think I got them all right, because like you'd walk by and this
You're
kid
a
had
bitch. You're a pussy.
his
you're
kid
a bitch.
had like a fucking had no sleeves on his shirt, camo hat, and was just fucking
Oh,
jean.
yeah,
I'm like I know exactly what crew
where
he was
that
with.
is.
Yeah.
There was another. What was the other?
You know
one?
where he parks when he goes to school?
in the back.
back
In the
trucks.
back lot, back in the corner by the
With the
den- tennis
trucks.
courts.
Backed
Yep.
up.
Where
Yeah.
you can
Yep.
smoke by the church stairs.
Yep.
But it's just weird to look back and think we all did that too.
Side note,
Like
what
someone could drive by, look at us, and go, "Oh, I know where they."
I don't
from."
know.
I know, yeah.
I felt like though our group of friends though we fit like right in
we
the
were
middle.
We were neutral.
right
That's,
in the
see,
middle.
that's what I
that,
thought
like-
too, because I
welcome.
was like, "Oh, I feel bad judging these kids," but I was like, "But at the
But I'm
same
like,
time,
we were all.
I wasn't way up here like fuck all these kids,
That
but
was
I
like
wasn't all the way
Joel.
down
That
here."
At least that's the
was
thing.
you.
Is I
Like
know.
Joel.
I know, especially for myself. I had a lot
What?
of friends that.
What do you
were,
mean, like Joel?
Joel is in the hierarchy.
Yeah.
Hey, I was.
Joel was in the
Fuck you,
popular
fuck
kid.
you.
Oh,
group.
I
Yeah.
wasn't?
Yeah, you were.
It's
Hey.
because
Yeah, you were.
it's because I played sports.
Yeah, that's why.
You wore
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
You wore your blue starter jersey. all
That
the
was
time.
middle school. That was not high school.
We're going back to this again.
But
I remember.
no,
with your
I will
buzz
say, like
cut,
in
your
high school
flat
though,
top.
like I was friends with plenty, or at least I talked to regularly, plenty of the popular kids, quote unquote. Like,
Yeah.
especially since quite a few of them are actually like intelligent and in the higher level, like math classes and all that kind of thing.
Not Joel.
Not me.
But there, I mean, more than you would
Notice how he just
generally you
skipped
think
right
like
over
all the
that.
jocks, they're all fucking idiots, like they're all taking remedial math kind of bullshit.
Yep.
No, a lot of
That
them
was
were
me.
actually like pretty intelligent and like in calculus and junior year and all that. So like I knew a lot of them through that. I also knew all the fucking weird kids because I took some IT classes. Like, yeah.
To
I
be-
knew everybody
To
too.
be
I knew a
100%
lot of people,
honest,
but-
I like never took woodworking, and I wish I would have.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
that
It was
is where all
blast.
those kids were. Was like the IT classes,
Yeah.
like or like computers,
The
like
trades.
you.
He
You
points at
never.
Chris.
You know all the nerdy shit.
After all that
Points
nerd,
at
you,
Chris.
like
I
the
took computer
only
science in high school, so
Points at
whatever.
Chris.
I never the only class, no disrespect, that I had those kids in was German class. It was like the
Oh,
best of both
God.
worlds.
that would
German
make
was
sense.
actually where I rubbed elbows with all the
That was like the
quote
happy
unquote
medium,
popular kids
was
at Miller
German
North
class.
at the time. So that's the only reason I even know. I'm like not really even friends with any of them. Although I did meet somebody from my German class in Blackstone on your birthday.
Oh,
Ran
nice.
into
She
to-
called you hot. That's cool.
No, that wasn't that chick.
Oh.
That was another chick.
She
Oh, man.
put on some
Mr.
sunglasses and
Big
block out
Man.
the haters.
That-
Jeez.
I put them back in
They're
my car.
lining up.
That girl went to Miller West. I just
Oh,
I worked
okay.
with her.
Oh,
So
jeez.
that was also at Billy's, which is decidedly not Blackstone.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Was
With
she
the guy who
dripping?
shotgunned the Red Bull?
Yes, quote unquote shotgun to Red Bull.
Oh.
I'd do it.
Well,
Well, no, he shotgunned a Red Bull. He just didn't shotgun much of the vodka that he put in the Red Bull because most
yeah,
of
it
it was
all
on
went
the
on
floor.
the floor.
No, so I took computer science in high school, which should come as no surprise to anyone.
Shocker.
And I can tell you that computer science is
So
very different
fucking
from what I do
proud.
now.
Hashtag coding.
Right. Still can't really wrap my mind around programming, so I don't do it. And it still ended up in IT, and I could tell you as an IT guy that what I do for IT and what programmers do are two totally different kinds of IT. Like programmers, like the web developers where I work, they don't know shit about computers. They can program a website, but outside of that, they're fucking useless.
That makes sense.
Like that, they know that part of it, and it's the same thing. I know about like how general computers work, and I know how networking works. I don't know fuck all about building a website. Like, why the fuck would I know that?
That's why I go to monster.com. Wait, is it monster.com?
No, that's
No.
to find a
Squarespace.
job. Squarespace. Yeah.
Squarespace.
GoDaddy.
Squarespace.
Doesn't
Go
GoDaddy do
Squarespace.
it?
How's it going?
GoDaddy does it too, but they're not as good as Squarespace.
Squarespace. Yeah.
Is that where our website?
If you say Squarespace
No,
three
I'm
times
just
into a mirror,
saying.
they show up and sponsor your
Oh.
podcast.
Yeah,
Squarespace.
Squarespace.
You have to be able to say it.
do 3 circles and then say it 3 times.
Right,
and
but
then-
you need a Matt. Do you have any salt?
There's a TikTok that I've seen. It's kind of funny not to go there, but
You're
so
gonna go there.
he goes, there's this thing I heard that if you turn off the lights and say gay guy into a mirror 3 times and then turn the lights on, a gay guy appears. And he turns off the lights and goes, gay guy, gay guy, gay guy. Turns them on, and it's just him, and he's like, God damn it.
we all laugh about this. but
We
I'm
all knew what
sitting
was
here-
coming,
well,
too.
No,
Like-
yeah, but I'm sitting here going, some actual gay guy's like, motherfucker.
What the hell?
Yeah, I was half expecting like one of the guys from Queer Eye to show up, like just be in the mirror and be like, "Oh my god."
Side note, when the hell are they putting in a TJ Maxx Home Goods
It's
at
already
Nebraska Crossing?
It's already
Yeah,
there.
I'm pretty
There.
sure it's already
The
there.
building's up. They're just going through the
Countdown,
last
3 days.
Yeah, they're going through
The
the last bit of
names
it.
11
and all
hours.
that, and everything's already up.
So is it just taking over the place of what was there? Or
No,
No,
that's brand new.
it's a whole new one?
Yeah,
Gee.
both of
It's
them.
just
are
2 of
holding-
them. It's just to the opposite side of the water tower from
Correct.
Okay.
the.
I mean, good for them
The
because I
water
do
tower.
enjoy
There's no
shopping
actual
at
water in that thing, is
TJ
there?
Maxx.
Yeah, there is.
Are you sure about that?
Why wouldn't there
Yes.
be? It's a water tower.
For
It's your gas tank. Is
Yeah.
there gas in your gas tank?
Yeah, like what kind of dumb question is that?
because it's so here's
Are there
my-
glass in your glasses?
no, it's like
Glass.
Like polymer.
That's
It's
cool.
not glass.
Glass.
My glasses are not made out of glass.
So why aren't they called polymers instead of glasses?
Where are my polymers at?
Fuck you, Joel.
That's why. That's
So,
why, Brendan.
Here's why I don't think that this is a conspiracy. Here's why I don't think the Nebraska Crossing water tower is an actual water tower. So, when you drive through Nebraska, you drive through Millard, you drive through Papillion, you drive through La Vista, you
And they
drive
all
through
have water
Bellevue.
towers.
They all have water towers that are real. So people are thinking Nebraska, water tower, small town. Let's put one of those fuckers up there because it's also right next to Ashland.
you think-
water tower.
you think it
Waverly water tower.
You think it catches people's eyes when they're driving
Wasn't
down?
it
Yeah.
already there though?
It
No.
100%.
It was
Yes,
already there.
that thing has been there for
So it
since
was
I can
before
remember.
the Nebraska crossing.
Since I
Yeah.
can
There used
remember.
to not be
Okay.
anything there. It was just
so
fields.
do you think
Yeah.
there's actually water in it?
And then there was an
I believe that
old
there
Nebraska
was.
I would
Crossing,
say but
Currently.
there
which
still
had
is.
the best toy store ever.
Why?
and
Why
then-
would they
would
get
there
rid
not
of
be?
it?
Yeah.
So
that's
they
my
had it
question.
when it was very rural.
The old one?
Why wouldn't they just keep it when
Yeah.
there's
Awesome
now
toy
all this
store.
place
Yes.
to feed
And
water
when you
to?
would go into like the service area, customer service, they had a machine that would make hot chocolate.
I'm not
Yeah.
conceding this argument to you.
Yep.
I'm just waiting for this
And then
cross
there was like a
conversation
weird
to stop
T-shirt
happening.
store. I'll
Sorry,
give you a
keep
cross
going.
conversation glasses.
All right. So what purpose?
Fucking nerd.
What purpose would water in the water tower serve at this point?
It gives
what-
water to
Water
the
to the
To
business.
what?
The business.
to
So
the
what?
Nebraska crossings.
I doubt it. Do you
Where
know what
are
a
they
water?
getting
Do
their
you know
water
what a water
from?
tower does?
Yeah, it holds water, and then you push a button, and the water goes
Yeah.
right where you're at.
It's an emergency system.
What if
So
there-
you're
what
telling
if
me
there
there's
was
no
a
water
fire?
in there?
I don't
They're
think
that close to the river and there's no water in there.
probably not. The infrastructure has probably reached out
Bullshit.
far enough now that they don't need the water in the water tower.
How do we know?
Do you think there's water in the Millard Water Tower?
I do.
So then why don't you think there's water in that?
Because it's so
water tower?
tiny and fucking bitchy. It's such a bitchy
Because it
water
was
I'm
tower.
meant-
so confused.
It was meant for a rule of space that like, it used to be.
Right, and so it got bought up.
What-
I doubt
hold on.
that they
What's
are
bitchy?
maintaining it.
What's bitchy? The crossing?
Water tower, yes.
It's the same exact one as the one in Elkhorn. And that is for a city. So
No,
what
it's
makes
not.
it bitchy?
It is too the same
Yes,
one.
204th and Maple. Right there.
Oh, it is.
Same exact water
It is.
tower.
I've never
Same
been to
one.
that part of.
We'll take it.
Expand your horizons.
So
Sorry, I haven't
so,
been 20
hold on,
miles
hold
out
on.
fucking
Do you
west.
think there's water
the
in the
furthest point
Papillion
from
Water
you.
Tower,
Yeah.
but not in a water tower near a strip mall?
No. Here's why. Is because some developer had to buy that land, right? And they bought that water tower. And I bet they looked at that water tower and they go, oh, that's a good billboard. Fuck all the water inside it, though. I don't want to pay for maintaining that. That's how it happened. I don't think there's water in it. I don't disagree, because I haven't lived here that long, relatively, that it was a water tower for like a small town or something before.
Wonder who we
But
could
I
ask.
don't think it's maintained
is there
as a
anybody
water
we
tower
could, like,
now.
tweet at?
I think it is just used for Nebraska Crossing to have a nice little fucking billboard up there all the time,
True.
and for them to get rent money from Verizon and Sprint and all the other
But if
carriers for putting cell towers
That's
on it.
the
True.
case.
So if they're getting
Why
money
would
off
you
of
put
it,
water in it?
Hey, you remember it was blue before
Yes.
when it was old.
where's that? Is that Nebraska?
That's the old.
That's
Oh,
Nebraska
I remember.
Crossing.
I forgot it used to be.
Because why would
Do
you?
you
That
remember
is
when they had a
true.
paintball thing right by that
Yes.
McDonald's? There was
Yes.
like nets and a whole big paintball.
The other thing is that all of those other water towers you mentioned are maintained by a city whose responsibility is to the infrastructure of the city.
So how do you know it's not owned
So
by the
how's-
county?
It might be. I'm just saying that if it's owned by the
So
developers of Nebraska Crossing, I doubt they're
Actually, I
paying
don't
to
think it's
maintain it as a
Sarpy.
water
What
tower.
would Matt? What would
It'd be Sarpy.
Sarpy County owns
Yeah.
it?
No,
No,
is it Sarpy?
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
Sarpy.
Sarpy's
Gretna's
like the
Sarpy.
smallest county in Nebraska, so it
But-
surprises me.
I think there's water in it. I think we need to ask somebody. I think
Who
we need
would
to figure
know?
out how.
Ask
how we
Corey.
can ask for this. Corey.
Yeah,
Ask Alexa.
Corey.
Coach Corey.
Where the fuck is
Oh,
that?
Alexa.
fuck. He probably would know.
Yeah,
Good call. Oh,
we need to
because
call.
he's probably climbed it.
I don't know. He
Gretna's got a-
stopped owning that business.
Gretna's
before
got a
that.
I know,
Mayor.
but he probably climbed it before.
So it's not owned by Gretna, right?
Correct.
Right.
Well,
it's
no, it
between
might
Gretna.
be. Here's the issue. It could like.
Why
you
don't we
said,
just call the people at Nebraska Crossing and ask them?
Because they won't know.
the person
Is
who
your
answers
water
isn't gonna
tower
fucking know.
Is your water tower functional? Yes or no?
They're gonna
Is
say,
it? Are they
I don't know,
open
call the
right now? What
county.
time is it? Call them now.
Actually, they might be.
Call the fucking county. They're closed. They close at like
The county's
4.
fucking closed. Yeah.
I mean, you
Fucking
could just call
motherfuckers.
someone at like Gap.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure.
don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure the 16-year-old working the phones at Gap is gonna fucking know.
You got to play it on the fucking.
There's a water tower.
They'll be like, what?
I got you over there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually,
shit.
Bellevue. I don't think Bellevue proper has a water tower. I think it actually is owned by.
So they're
Offutt.
open until 9.
Fucking call them.
Well, I'm about to.
Like, hey, this is gonna be a prank. This is gonna be the stupidest prank I'll ever. Does your water tower have water in it?
You got to put it on speaker.
Yes. Well, you better go catch it. Click.
All right, here we go.
Who are you calling?
Nebraska Crossing.
Nebraska Crossing.
I'm just gonna call the government.
All right, boys.
Everyone has to be. Everyone has to be dead quiet.
Thank you for calling the Nebraska Crossing Outlet. The management office is currently closed. We are located
Bullshit.
at the
You
intersection
say
of
until 9.
80 and Highway 31, Gretna
Can I
exit
leave a
432.
message?
Retail
Yes,
stores
please do.
are open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. and Sunday from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. If you would like to leave a message, please
There you
press
go.
0 now. Otherwise,
You have reached the general delivery mailbox. After the tone, please leave your name, telephone number, and a brief message. Your call will be returned the next business day. Thank you.
Hello. I'm having a discussion with some of my friends, and we are just curious if there is any water in the Nebraska Crossing Outlet Mall water tower. My name is Joel Fickle, and my phone number is again. Thank you. God.
Well,
couldn't
Chris is
hold
gonna
it.
have to
He
beat
couldn't
that.
Yeah,
hold it.
that's pretty much the only thing I've had to edit so far.
That's
So
perfect.
I'm right.
He couldn't hold it.
I had to. Man.
Joel,
that's
just
I
so
heard,
funny.
I heard
I
Trace
started
go.
losing his
I heard
shit.
Trace go. "Ooh," and I was like, God damn it.
I think it was Brendan because
He
Brendan was
laughed
sitting here
too.
like this the whole time. He's like,
Okay,
He's like,
so
"Oh,
hey,
I
What
I
does
looked.
it say?
I looked up information on the water tower, and it's basically just the engineering and surveying business that worked on the location.
Remax came up when I searched for it.
Right. So it says new utilities, including sanitary sewer, storm sewer, water mains, and gas mains. The existing treatment plant will continue to be used for sanitary treatment. The existing water tower remains in service until future connection. So I don't know what future connection
So
would
there
be.
it is.
All right, so it does still have water
Yeah.
in it.
That's
When
what,
was the article or
What's
thing
the date
from?
on there?
it just says the date that it started was 2013. It doesn't say
Ooh.
when this was
So
made.
it might not now.
Well, I mean, if there
So
isn't,
I wonder what
if there isn't a connect, if you can't find
If-
anything like public that says that we
See,
connected this,
right.
then it's still full of water that's not going anywhere.
Someone's gonna listen to that tomorrow and say,
Be like, what
the
the fuck?
Actually, you know, I bet you that somebody's asked that before. I
Yeah.
bet you somebody has called and asked before.
The odds that we had an original thought on this podcast are slim to none. So
we think they are, but anyway, I think I heard our timer ding-a-ling-a-ling.
yeah, let's. We're gonna have to end the podcast on that note. So
Maybe we'll come back next week with some info on. whether
Yeah,
or not-
maybe
yeah,
we'll-
we'll
maybe
get some
we'll
info for you.
finally be able to settle this
Hey,
debate.
if you see it ring, you should make them give you a voicemail and we'll play it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
If
make
they
sure.
do leave,
Well, yeah, I
Right.
mean, if they're going to call you back next business day, you might not be able to answer anyway. So
I probably won't.
Right.
But hopefully they do leave one and say, yes, indeed, there is water in this water tower.
Then
Yeah.
I guess we'll know. Happy
All right.
I will be happy to be wrong.
Trace, where can
Alright.
you find us?
You can find us all over. You can.
I thought you were gonna end with that. Like, great.
You can
thanks.
find us in the water tower at Nebraska Crossing.
you
Next week we're in the water tower doing a podcast.
only if
So
it's
echoey.
empty. Only if it's empty.
Only if it's empty.
You can find us on Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Libsyn. Go give us a like, a follow on Instagram and Twitter. Go tell us what you want us to talk about. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Mm.